Older fans may have known him as Master Fuji. Younger fans may have known him as Mr. Fuji. Gorilla Monsoon fans may have known him as Fuge the Stooge. But he was born Harry Fujiwara. He was a master in this game. Whether using his brain or his cane, guaranteed championships and was a true legend. Party people, raise a glass for Master Fuji. Place to be. What's going on? It's me. How you like the new set, huh? The new look 2 drink minimum. It's a work in progress. We're getting it together. But nothing is more apropos than showing off the new set a bit here. We got the scepter there from the King of the Ring. We got, you'll see what that is from a bit later. We've got the new Scarface and everything here. A new set, new beginning, fresh new start, and it's nothing more apropos than that as we get set for a new start, a new season, and a new era on a different world. Yes, we do. We are officially entering in the Debbie era, right? This is the era where Debbie Allen takes over the show, takes hold of the show, makes it her own, makes it a thing that people love as opposed to like or tolerate or kind of leave on after the Cosby Show is over. Everybody falls in love with this show during the Debbie era, seasons 2 and on. I've said it before, when I was a kid and I would watch it in syndication, I would often skip the Lisa Bonet episodes if I saw them, but if I saw the season 2 and beyond episodes, I would stick around. There's something different about it. There's something fresher about it, and I don't necessarily mean ficky fresh, although that's true too, but there's something fresher, there's something more organic about it, there's something realer about this show than what we've seen in the first season. We saw in the first season a lot of tropes come through, a lot of, you know, some stunt casting, bringing in some of the Cosby Show people. The jokes didn't land. It was harder to connect with some of the characters on the show before than it will be in this season and the seasons going forward. That's not to say the actors that were on the first season were bad. They clearly weren't. You had Will Smith's mom on the first couple episodes. You saw Ted Ross, a talented guy. Marissa Tomei, I've heard of her. She's gone on to do other things. I think a couple commercials or something. I can't. Something. She's done a few things after that, right? Loretta Devine, I think she was in a couple of movies and a couple of shows written by one of my writing idols, David E. Kelley, something like that. Like, I can't. Talented people, but the structure of it didn't work. It was too tame. It was too homogenized. It was too cookie cutter. It didn't quite work. Season 2 and beyond breaks the mold that season 1 was in, and it breaks out, and it becomes its own entity, and it's glorious. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna get into A Different World season 2, starting right now. They're starting off with Dr. War is Hell. Dr. War is Hell. Now we're gonna go over the rules. I normally go over the rules during the theme song, but this is the first time we're gonna see the new look theme song with Aretha Franklin, the legend. Aretha Franklin taking the helm, and she will do that for most of the rest of the series. So we're going to take a sharp listen at Aretha Franklin's version of A Different World. Not that the original, I believe it was by Phoebe Snow. Not that that one was bad, but this one is fucking legendary. Doctor as Hell! Season 2, Episode 1 of A Different World starts right now. Nope, starts right now. Good thing there's no neighbors upstairs with me right now. There are rules to this. This is a drinking game that was legendary. We're going to go over, did you see the synchronization? On the opening credit, Debbie Allen is a dancer. Yes, yes. So here is the drinking game. The drinking game had to change because we lost like half the people that were involved in it before. And by the way, we already have one right here. Dwayne Wayne flipped the shades up. That one's staying. Finish whatever drink you got now. If Walter makes a funny voice, you take a sip. If Dawnn Lewis, which we just saw with the shorter hair, breaks the fourth wall and laughs uncontrollably, and those are real, like she wasn't acting, you take a sip. If Ron, that one right there, gets shot down for love, he's taking Dwayne's place, you take a sip. If Colonel Taylor is called Brad, not Bradford, but Brad, you take a sip. Speaking of which, the only one who calls him as Mr. Gaines, if Mr. Gaines says, that's a sip. If Mr. Gaines uses full Kim Wayans, drink her down. If Mr. Gaines uses Kimberly Reese's full name, Kimberly Reese, that's 2 sips. If we get an impression of Whitley, you finish half your drink. When Freddie freaks out, you either sip through it while she's freaking out until she stops talking, or you finish your drink, whichever comes last. First, whichever comes first. If Dwayne flips the shades up or down, you finish your drink. And if we hear the word Konnichiwa, you finish your drink. That's going to come up a little bit later, more often. That's going to come more often a little bit later. So it's not going to always stay a finish your drink one, but we're going to keep it there for right now. Because this is a special occasion, I had to finish whatever was in there. We're going to top this off with a little bit of cold cock. Cold cock, baby. Why you chose this bed? Future best friends. Look at this. Dr. Kimberly Reese. Kimberly Reese. Kimberly, yes! You should already know this, but that happened in real life. Yes, children. Cree and Kadeem. Yes, children. Yes, children. Yes. I'm not counting this as a freak out. Oh, now she's freaking out. All right, I'll count this one. Finish your drink. Let's see. I'll do this margarita. That disappears by the end of the season. Actually, in the next couple episodes, I think. Yes, children, that is Penny. And that is also the voice you heard on Rugrats. I can't remember her name. There we go, finish your drink! Alrighty, here we go. Ron's about to get shot down. Shot down. Me too. Those are dope. Look at Ron Johnson doing his best Morris Day impression. Look at that tied up sweater around homeboy's neck. That is 80s. Now, one other thing you're going to notice, Hillman is now a historically black college university. Officially. Well, I think that guy's Native American. But, like, you're going to see significantly fewer white students there, if at all. Sinbad thought that was a great look. That's one of those life lessons that TV was trying to teach you. You know, try hard. Try the hard classes. You know what? Sometimes fuck the hard classes. All right? Take the easy route's easy for a reason. All right? It's there for a reason. Sometimes you should take it. First Letty Whitley engagement of the season. This is awesome. He is not doing nan set of nothing. What's wrong with that? That's cold. That's cold, Dawnn. That's cold. My parents. Yeah. Oh look, there's a white student. Or faculty member. Oh, another white student, look at this. You see, again, you'll see fewer and fewer of them. Like the parting of the Red Sea. And another white suit. Look at Walter in the background watching this whole thing. That's a nice detail. It's a nice detail. That's a Debbie Allen detail. Come on with that heart, Colonel Taylor. Come on with that heart. Take the bus. Oh, come on, come on, come on, with the come on, huh? That was season 2, episode 1 of the new look, A Different World. Come on, how could you not? A totally different feel. It was what a difference a summer makes. What a difference a new regime makes. A new creative regime makes. What a difference. What a difference. What a difference. And it's funny. People are complaining, we're all... Well, people are complaining about where all the female directors and stuff like that in Hollywood. Here was one right here. Debbie Allen. She took the reins. She took over the show. She took it to new levels and continued it far past what would probably have been its original shelf life. I really don't think that the original shelf life for the first look, A Different World would have been more really than a year. Or maybe 2. It may have... Maybe if Cosby had pulled some strings and said, this is my show and yada yada yada, because he was big shot in Hollywood at the time, maybe he could have got 2 years out of it. But I don't think NBC would have gone too much further than that. And nobody would have blamed him. Nobody would have blamed him or really missed the show. But man, this new look one, whatever went into the decision, I would love to know what the decision was. What the meetings were like between NBC, Cosby, Carson Warner, and Debbie Allen, with how this whole thing was meant to take off and how this whole thing continued on when the prognosis really didn't look good for it, especially with shows surrounded by Lisa Bonet and the controversy of her getting pregnant at the time. Like, the meetings that had to have taken place to allow this show to continue, let alone allow this show to continue under Debbie Allen's reign. I don't know if it was a thing where nobody really expected much of her, which is fine. That happens all the time. That's happened to me a couple times, especially where nobody was looking and I fucked around and I rocked the shit. Then all of a sudden they started looking. That was, oh, so good. So good, party people. Are you excited? Are you excited about the new look, A Different World? This is the A Different World that most people love. This is the A Different World that most people remember. This is the A Different World that is going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun to cover. Party people, I need your thoughts on this. I need to know what you thought about the new look. Were you there during the transition? Were you alive to remember when the transition happened and your thoughts of the transition? Did you see the transition on syndication? What did you think of that? Did you avoid the first season? Because again, the first season is kind of not like A Different World. A Different World becomes A Different World now. Tell me what you think about that. Tell me what you think about this episode. Tell me what you think about Dr. War, Colonel Bradford Taylor, and his heart at the end of that episode. Tell me what you think about all of that down there in the comments section. Like, share, subscribe, hit those links in the description on your way out. Grab some swag from the party store on your way out. And party people, that ain't bad. Boom. Boom.
Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City, bitch.